Welcome to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast, where you can learn and be inspired by real-world examples of how technology is transforming businesses and reshaping industries in a language everyone can understand. Here is your host, Neil C. Hughes.
Welcome back to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast. It's funny how the universe works, isn't it, sometimes? So I don't know if you all believe in manifesting, but each day I speak with someone different anywhere in the world about technology. Very often, like most guests are located in the US, but I recently went on holiday to Barcelona and I just love chatting with locals and promised myself that I would try and search for tech companies in the region so I can get more stories from Spain and Barcelona onto the podcast to find out more. But then, completely out of nowhere, not one, but two pictures for guests for tech companies in Barcelona landed in my inbox without me even searching. And the first of which was Shant Kevonian, who is the Chief Operating Officer at Olyseum, which is a star-led virtual social engagement platform for fans and brands to trade and rent experiential non-fungible tokens. Yes, NFTs. And I want to learn more about this project and how it put him on the path with soccer legends Puyol, Iniesta, Pina and many more, who are co-founders of Olyseum. So I want to learn more about this online application, how it connects recruited soccer stars and other people figures to their fans through skills, challenges and content creation activities, and bring monetary rewards based on performance and participation. So if you're interested in learning more about a blockchain-powered social network complete with NFTs and crypto to create a paradigm shift for the world of fan engagement, then you're in for a treat today. So buckle up and hold on tight so I can beam your ears all the way to Barcelona, where Shant is waiting to speak with us about Olyseum's purpose-built rewards ecosystem, how it enables fans to engage with entertainment leaders, sports stars, fashion icons, global trailblazers, the tech behind it, and much more. So a massive warm welcome to the show, Shant. Can you tell the listeners a little about who you are and what you do?
Absolutely, Neil. Thanks for the introduction and for having me on the show. I'm actually a big fan. So my name is Shant Kevonian. I am CEO of Olyseum, the star-led social engagement platform for fans and brands to trade and rent experiential non-fungible tokens, which we call xNFTs. Basically, I'm very passionate about driving fan engagement forward through NFT and crypto innovations, and work closely alongside Olyseum CEO Carlos Grenoir in directing our company's growth trajectory while overseeing the day-to-day administrative and operational functions of the business.
Oh man, you should have said you were a fan of the show before coming on. We could have had an Estrella in a bar last week.
I mean, if I had known you were in Barcelona, I mean, we would have done that absolutely. But
and as for Olyseum there, can you tell me a little bit more about what it is for people that are hearing about it for the first time and what your overarching mission is?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good question, actually. So our leadership team is actually working very much on expanding rosters of stars that are aligned on this very common mission, which we're about to elaborate on. Basically, we are striving for closing the gap between, let's say, the fans and the stars in order to make very meaningful and authentic interactions. In this way, also reward fans for their participation, but also for everything that they're sort of doing in relation to it with the stars.
And I'm curious, what kind of stars are currently part of Olyseum? Is there anything you can share around that?
Yeah, so we have many stars from various industries. So we've got sport, fashion, culinary arts, moto. This is just a getting started list. You know, we're very much working towards expand. We're looking to be, rather than others that are very industry specific, we're looking to be industry agnostic, because there are leaders in every industry, and so we are looking to really expand that industry, you could say, that ecosystem, in order for everyone to participate. And as we mentioned, we're really very much looking towards closing the gap between the fans and the stars. And I don't think that has very much to do about one industry. I think that's applicable to every industry, and we really believe that that's our mission, as mentioned before, and that's what we're really trying to do. The authentic experiences just that we want to offer, and these memorable experiences that people are going to live, I think will have no equal.
Yeah, I completely agree, especially over the last 18 months with the divide that's come across the entire world, really. We don't go to, we haven't been going to concerts or sporting grounds and cheering on the big stars there. So I'm curious, what changes have you seen in the world of fan engagement over the last couple of years?
So even before, let's say, the pandemic, social media itself has really changed the way that fans and stars interact. I think that was just pretty much a stepping stone into what we're actually going to be seeing. If you notice, I mean, stars started really creating their own digital brands in their follower accounts and all these things they're doing on social media. And, you know, these there's paid arrangements that occur on social media platforms where, you know, brands come in and stars promote or those types of arrangements. But so let's say how that transitions to fan engagement, it stays very let's say superficial, right? It's a like, it's a comment. It doesn't really trickle down in the sense that, you know, it's bridging the gap. It's just it's just very superficial. So what we are really aiming for is closing this gap. And I think that's where the opportunity is to make Olyseum a very different type of offering and platform in comparison to everything that's existed. Basically, again, you know, it's been superficial, and it's all started with social media.
And what I love about this, when I was researching you, I quickly came across some big household names such as Puyol, Iniesta, Pina, etc., and how you're bridging the gap between dedicated sports fans and their heroes. And it's all great, but then we start getting non-fungible tokens and blockchain in there. So that's what put you on my tech spidey sensors and set them off. So could you tell the listeners about Olyseum's new breed of NFTs there?
Exactly. So as you've mentioned, you know, there's been an explosion of activity for NFTs, especially since the beginning of the year. It's a new trend that we believe is set to endure in the long term. And so you're absolutely correct when we talk about this new breed of NFTs, which we call the XNFTs, right? Some of these NFTs or NFTs will be traditional in nature. So for example, the typical digital pieces of arts that you've been seeing and hearing about, where we're going to be allowing for collecting and, you know, the typical collections for proving that you're one of the biggest fans. But additionally, some of them, even though they have a piece of art, they will be experiential in nature. And these XNFTs will give fans the chance to engage virtually and in person with stars from a range of industries, as we've mentioned previously.
And I understand that Olyseum also launched its native utility token earlier this year. Where can users buy this token? What can they purchase with it? Can you set the scene there? Absolutely.
So our native utility token, Oly, is actually an ERC20 based token. So this term's probably been thrown around quite a bit. Just so that everyone can understand, this means it's compatible on the Ethereum blockchain. And so one of our first stepping stones was actually launching it in Uniswap in February of this year. And since then, the token has been listed on the cang.eco exchange, Probit, and we've also been listed on CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko. We've been integrated into the Oxys crypto wallet. And, you know, Oly itself provides access to exclusive experiences and events and will allow us to reward fans' engagement through gamification. In terms of utility, let's put it like this, right? So just like fans fuel the celebrity economy, Oly tokens fuel fan engagement in our soon-to-be launched ecosystem. Oly will be our gateway between everyday fans and their favorite icons. So remember what I said about experiential NFTs? These will be purchasable in Oly and can also be traded and rented.
Oh, it sounds incredibly cool. And what made you choose this route out of interest? Launching your own token, etc. Was that something you wanted to do right from the outset?
So we've been experimenting. Specifically, I think Carlos, you know, he's been around the industry for a while now. He's been pursuing this vision, and it's a very good vision. Ultimately, otherwise I wouldn't be here as well, right? I think that, as mentioned before, that the whole concept is really about bridging this gap that was pushed by social media. It started with social media, and that it created a new type of interaction, but it's just not where it needs to be in terms of fan loyalty. And so in Carlos's mind, it really was always about bridging at this. And so, it also allows us to capitalize on evolving trends and the 21st century economics, which is very much decentralized. So being on the cutting edge of fintech.
In your opinion, what are the major milestone achievements for Olyseum so far? I appreciate it's very early days for you guys. It's much more about where you're heading, but what have you achieved so far?
Oh, that's a good question. It's been a very tough and arduous journey. It's been very exciting, all these emotions, but there are absolutely achievements that have been written about and also shared in various places. So, to list a few of them, a number of key milestone moments, such as the creation of our utility token, as you mentioned, successfully recruiting top-level stars. You can see some of them just on our website, and it's already, it's very appealing and very rewarding to see this, and securing top-tier partnerships and exchange listings, which we covered as well. These achievements have helped us lay foundations for a sustained period of growth, and there's just so much more to come. You mentioned it. It's the beginning. Our imagination is the limit, I believe.
And there will be so many Reddit communities, Telegram, the list goes on, and those communities are incredibly passionate, especially about something that could actually be the next big thing. And I understand that Olyseum is gearing up for a major platform launch. So can you give our listeners an indication of what they can expect from that platform and a rough ballpark or timeline of when they can expect it?
Yeah. So, with our unrivaled network of international icons, Olyseum is gearing up to launching an XNFT platform. It's what we've been working towards, and it's where we're sort of primed for it. So we're looking to become that marketplace of choice for stars and fans alike, while providing a trusted environment for stars to debut in the crypto sphere, elevate their brand, and monetize their star power. So I don't really want to spoil anything, because that would go into potentially the partnerships and the arrangements, but this will be a new reality for fan engagement. And I think it's something very exciting to look forward to.
Yeah, if there's one thing the crypto community love, it's news around partnerships. So I appreciate you leaving us with a little teaser there. And what about adoption? Because, of course, the success of any technology is always down to the adoption and getting people on board. Is that something that you can talk about, and how you're going to increase adoption?
Yeah, so we are looking very much to expand adoption, as you mentioned, through various partnerships. And this is also about widening our ecosystem, as well as for adoption. These stars have an innate ability to drive trends forward. They have millions and millions of followers. And, if we create a safe environment, especially in the crypto space, where everyone is participating in this 21st century economy, digital economy, they will happily, I believe, help us push that adoption, because, again, it's a safe place. It's going to be a new type of social engagement. It's going to be rewarding in all fronts. And so stars will ultimately bring fans and other stars, connect with fans in profound ways, and looking to make their crypto debut. It's a cocktail for something absolutely revolutionary.
Yeah, and it's something we're seeing more and more, especially from stars all across the world. I've seen everyone from Kim Kardashian to boxers, etc., all pushing certain solutions out there. But is there anything else like this out there? Because I've not seen anything myself.
So we do our due diligence. We look at marketing competitors. We look at competitive platforms. We look at the ones that are in the crypto space and not in the crypto space. And I believe that you are correct in saying that there's nothing like what we are preparing to launch. We are probably going to be an industry first in this regard. And so we're really excited about it. And that's why some of these things I have to keep indoors, right? But it is absolutely a game changer, and probably first of its kind.
And I don't want to pin you down to specific dates or anything, because these things always get repeated on communities. But if we were to look 1 year or 2 year into the future, what is it? What's your grand vision for Olyseum?
For then, ultimately, I believe and I would like, and of course, this is just my opinion, not necessarily the Carlos's or the companies as a whole, but for me personally, I would like to have seen many fans enjoy their experience through our XNFTs and have participated in beautiful moments where they can share with many others. And to be the platform of choice for fans, stars to trade XNFTs, but also brands. I think there's space for everyone.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today and sharing your story and your plans for the future for Olyseum. But before I let you go, I always like to have a bit of fun with my guests and ask if there was a particular song or piece of music that has inspired you on your own tech career that we can add to our Spotify playlist. Is there a song and story that means anything to you?
So, I mean, I'm a person that listens to many different types of genres.
Yeah.
But lately, I mean, it's probably been about 2 years now that I've been listening. Well, yeah, 2 years to a lot of Two Steps from Hell. So I think they're a music company from the US. That's kind of like I guess the comparison is usually like Hans Zimmer. And there's a song that I really like, which is from Thomas Bergeson, I believe, called 1 Million Voices. And that is probably a song that's always in my playlist that pops up in the middle of work, or because these algorithms that create these playlists, right? And it always stops me because it has like a very slow start, and it's a lengthy song, but it covers, I think, the aspect of what I believe in and what the vision of Olyseum believes in. And the title says it all, 1 million voices. So for us, it's really about people. And I think that song really encompasses it. And every time I listen to it, it stops me in my tracks. Like, wait, did the audio go wrong? No. And then I see the title and it's like, oh, yes, this is it. It always gets me in the zone. It really encompasses my philosophy, my mindset. And as the song picks up, it really does become very motivating.
Love that. And for anyone listening that would like to find out more information and dig a little bit deeper on everything we've talked about today, maybe join your community and talk with other fans of you guys, and also contact your team. What's the best starting point?
I think the best one would probably be to follow us on Twitter. It's probably one of our most active channels, along with Telegram, where we have a very active community. So I think our Twitter, which is at Olyseum, and joining our community using the handle t.me/Olyseum. For anyone who's just listening, I think that's the probably the easiest ways. Otherwise, there's the typical links on our website, but I think those would probably be the best ones to start off with.
Well, I always say at the end of every episode that technology works best when it brings people together. When I first heard about you guys and how you're using crypto, blockchain, NFTs, and to build this blockchain-powered social platform to reward engagement and bring fans and stars closer together, that's my kind of language. So I wish you the best of luck for the future. I'd love to get you on next year, see how that journey's going. But more than anything, thanks for sharing your journey with me.
Likewise, it was a pleasure. And again, if you're in Barcelona, next time, give a heads up and we'll meet in person as well.
I just love how Shant is passionate about driving fan engagement forward through NFT and crypto innovations, all while leveraging technology as a force for good. But is this a project that you are going to be following closely? What did you like? What did you not like? Or do you have any questions or experiences that you would like to share? If there is, pop by my website, techblogwriter.co.uk. You can leave me a message there. Also connect with me on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. You'll find all those details at the bottom of my website, along with 1,700 podcast interviews. But that's it for today. So a big thank you for listening as always. And until next time, don't be a stranger.
Thank you for listening to the Tech Talks Daily Podcast with Neil C. Hughes. Remember, technology works best when it brings people together.